Take some time to talk about how I've been feeling like because I haven't been able to push through and finish any of my writing projects while I continue to go into journaling and going in a loop between free writing and just reflecting because that's easier, right? There's no structure, there's no need to hit deadlines or anything like that. And it will take developing systems on my part to consistently show up to specifically write out scenes because I know I can do it. I think perfection, like perfectionism, gets in the way. I think a lot of the time I feel like if I write this scene, it's going to be locked into the story forever. And that's really not how it works. The rough draft is not set in stone. The storyboards are just storyboards. You know, as soon as all the story is done, I can go back and I can take out what doesn't fit. But I think more so than that, it's important to remind myself that comparison is my enemy. It's so easy to see other people who have gone through adversity, even worse situations than I'm in, and to think that I'm a failure because I am not able to overcome it in the way that I perceived them to have done. You know, some people have finished their novel or finished, whatever they were doing, even when they were in a stressful environment. But a stressful environment, hey, Jenny, is actively preventing you from having any kind of reliable systems in place. And as I was talking about yesterday, I think I've hit a wall where I have to just channel has been deleted. You almost got me. I almost thought that was a message saying my channel was deleted. I need to just kind of surrender. Because, hey, Julian, made me think of Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Julian. I look like the Grinch. I will hunt you down and cut you like a fish. Do you want me to subscribe? Do you want to subscribe? That's the real question. It doesn't matter what I want. What I was talking about yesterday was like, I kind of just have to surrender to the reality that before I can really accomplish anything in this life, I think I need to get out of this trailer. Even if I have to take a risk to go into a new environment with possible restrictions, but also like opportunities that I can't even foresee. Why do people like to call me Schmeagol? I don't look anything like Golem. What the fuck? Like, I just look like a normal person. I gotta be right back. I gotta turn the stove off. Schmeagol. I'd Funyun. I'd Funyun hard. I'd Funyun. I'd Funyun hard. What is going on? What is even going on? But I think that it's important to recognize that even in this stressful situation, even with the extreme, like, daily environmental stress on top of autism spectrum disorder, which about 50% of people who have ASD struggle with feeling like completely like underdeveloped, underachieving, like failures. Society kind of puts a lot of pressure on people, and people like me kind of sometimes really succeed, and I think I can still succeed. I'm not like selling myself short, but I think people have this like survivorship bias where, you know, people see like, oh, you know, I know people who have autism, you know, that they're able to go out there and succeed and have a job or whatever, and it's like, yeah, great for them. I'm happy for them. But it's like, it's extremely like just demeaning and ignoring of like somebody's like lived reality and how much like luck plays a factor into some people. Some people have supportive environments. I don't have a supportive environment. I don't. I do not. I have an environment where I'm just surviving. And I think I've accomplished a lot considering how fucked up my situation is. Like, it could be a lot worse, of course. I don't want to get into that. I don't like the victim Olympics. But I've accomplished a lot considering how fucked up of a situation I've been in for so many years. You know, it's like I was able to not let it consume me. And I've been able to, you know, make do with what I've had in ways that, like, I was able to get a surgery that not many people are able to get, even with similar resources. And I haven't let it destroy me. I haven't let it turn me into a bad person. At least I hope not. I'm worried that if I stay here, it's going to make my life even worse, and then I'm going to become a really bad person just because of the environment. That's not fair. But I think it shows how strong I really am that I haven't let this place destroy me. That I've maintained my beauty as a human being, even when thrown up against the wall. That it would have been so easy to just give up and not even try. I don't think it would have been easy, but it definitely could have been an alternative. Like, just spiral out of control, let my life get out of control. I didn't do that. Instead, I gathered all the resources I needed, And I just like pulled a rabbit out of my ass. I made shit happen. So the fact that I haven't finished my novel, the fact that I haven't like built a career from the ground up, the fact that I haven't like rescued people from burning buildings, like somehow that makes me lesser. Like, come on, Rebecca, like shut the fuck up. You're fucking awesome. You know, and you've hit it like a bit of a rough spot right now. Like, things feel like really kind of hopeless right now, and it's been getting harder. I feel like even though I'm maintaining good habits, I feel like it's the bare minimum, especially when it comes to exercise. Like, pretty much the only exercise I'm really doing is I might walk to the grocery store. It's like a 15-minute walk. Or I go outside and I throw a basketball in the air 10 times each hand, or 10 times each arm, and I do like wraps around my body, like with the basketball, like 10 times each. And then in the morning I do 10 squats. Like, I have a pretty rigid, like established, well, not rigid, but I have a pretty established routine in the morning. I get out of bed no matter what when my alarm goes off at 8 a.m. Even if it's to just, I'm going to get up, I'm going to start my coffee, maybe have a banana or start breakfast, splash some water on my face, throw the basketball in the air to get my blood pumping, and to go outside for even a few minutes while the coffee is brewing. And then even if like I just go back to sit down in my bed, it doesn't really matter right now. Like, I know, like, not like research, like my research, like science agrees that with me that like it's way more important that I establish the start of an action, not necessarily how long I take actions. It's that you start an action, you do something to completion, even if it's a small thing, and you keep doing it. Even because I need to be able to do it even when shit hits the fan, even when I don't want to. It needs to be so easy that I couldn't possibly fail. So, I sit, after I, make my coffee and all that, I'll sit down on my chair and I'll play solitaire. I like Free Cell. It's a great game. But I'll play a game of Free Cell with real cards, shuffling the deck, dealing out the hand, and playing through it. It's good for mental cognition and executive dysfunction, like problem solving, and just starting with something and then completing it. Even if like it's not about like whether you win. I try to win, but it's about doing the task. Behavior activation. So after I'm done with that, I then pull out my typewriter, my digital typewriter, and I just start writing. Or I grab my notebook and I start writing by hand. However, the past few days, I have not been working on my novel, and I've been beating myself up over it. But like, come on, like, give yourself a break, Rebecca. You are not expected to be like this complete, perfect novelist right now. Okay, like right now you're just trying to stay alive. The fact that you're rolling out of bed at all. Even though today, I watched a lot of TV. I've been watching Arrow. I'm gonna watch the entire Arrowverse. It's gonna take a long time. Even if I watched every single day, like 3 to 5 episodes a day, maybe even some binge watching days of like 10 episodes, it would take me 7 months of non-stop daily viewing to get through the entire Arrowverse. Like, I'm not trying to finish it as fast as possible. It's just something to watch. I'm rewatching Arrow, and I'm going to rewatch a lot of all the shows. I've already watched a lot of the main shows. But it's been a long time, and I kind of want to watch it all in order. Because I didn't really watch it particularly in order. Like, I would watch, like, The Flash and Supergirl and Arrow, like, as they came out at one point, but it was already kind of late into the Arrow. Hey, Dime. Yeah, I appreciate the comment you left, and I remember you. You were here before. I called you Dime. Talk to me. I remember I was actually watching through my older stream. I think it was the one where I had my orchiectomy. Or it was the one after my surgery, after my vaginoplasty. Talk to me, Dime. Yeah, I asked if your name was Dime or Dime. I don't remember if it was my orchiectomy video or if it was after my final surgery. I was rewatching parts of my streams earlier today. Like, kind of like as a little bit of like a reminder of how far I've come. Like, going through, like, I know I was live streaming. I'm talking about, like, it was a couple of years ago. Unless it was only a year ago. Well, a year and like a month and a half ago. I don't remember which one it was. Whether it was, if it was orchiectomy, it would have been 3 years ago. Yeah, it would have been 3 years ago. I think it was before my facial surgery, but it was right after my orchiectomy. I was streaming, like... No, I'm doing a vertical YouTube stream. I've been doing kind of like casual vertical YouTube live streams just to kind of check in with myself and with people. Just kind of casual stream. Just to try to... It's like I'm journaling out loud and like publicly rather than my private journals. You want to donate? Well, don't donate if you can't afford it. But there are, ways to donate. You could subscribe to my Patreon if you really want. I have multiple ways to donate. I think if you look at my Linktree, there's a donate button there. It's just Linktree/Rebecca Lauren. I'm pretty sure I have a donate link on the Linktree. What happened to you over in New Zealand? I just watched a movie, like, not just, but like a month and a half ago. I watched a movie that was like, I forgot what it was called. It was like, it showed a guy's dick, like, right at the beginning of the movie. And like, it's like he was like a researcher at this facility that was experimenting like with like cross-dimensional things, and like he ended up crossing over to like a different dimension, and he thought he was the last, and he was like the last one on Earth, but like he met other people, and like it's this whole like sci-fi story. Like he was like he like he even like he like wore a dress at one point. You built your car after the last 6 years? Oh no. You were hit by a truck? Oh, I'm sorry, Dime. God damn. The car you've been working on? Oh, I'm sorry, Dime. Well, I know that like this isn't even about you. I just like made this about myself. But when you said that you've been working on it for the last 6 years, that made me kind of draw connections to like how I feel about social anxiety, because it's like I've been building myself over the past 6 years, especially online, like talking about a lot of stuff online. And it's like when you build something like for yourself, I worry that any given moment, everything is going to come crashing and burning, and my life will be ruined because I talk too much online. I know it's ridiculous. You like my dancing short? Well, if you like that, wait until I actually get good at dancing eventually. And when I have a better studio environment and I can record better videos. So real? Yeah, I mean, I try to be authentic no matter what. Even if it's not the best, I try to do my best. And if I'm good at anything, I'm good at learning, and I'm good at sticking with things. Even if it's not perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. I will just always get back up. Even if everything is telling me that I will fail, I will get back up. You seen the real Becca? You don't know the half of me. You kidding me? You kidding me? You don't know me. You kind of do, though. I really do, like, put a lot of myself out there. And I try to be as authentic as possible. But I am public facing. This is kind of like my public persona, which is still pretty, like, loose. Like, I'm kind of a freak of nature. I also just have no idea what the repercussions of my actions are, which makes me really brave. Some people would say that's a strength. I feel like it's extremely dangerous. Because I sometimes worry that I've completely fucked myself over because of my online presence. That I have absolutely no idea how many ways I have fucked myself over. That like I may have like completely destroyed any chance at a social life. But I don't know. I need to get over myself because I'm not that important. People don't care that much. And I'm not that bad. Like there's people out there like doing blackface. Like come on. What are we talking about? Either way, like I may as well, if I kind of like, it started way before social media. I was like really actively just letting my heart out in public from a very young age. I would never filter myself out in public. So I may as well double and triple and quadruple down on it because it's already a bit too late for me to like start tiptoeing. Like I don't see a world where I didn't express myself authentically just because I was worried what people might think about me. Massive dogs? 225-pound dogs? That's a lot of dog. I think dogs are great. I don't want to be a pet owner. I can't. I can't afford it. But also I wouldn't want to. I don't want to be responsible for a living creature. I already have to be responsible for this bitch. Like, are you kidding me? You kidding me? Kidding me, Dime? What are we even talking about? What if I just live streamed like this the whole time? Huh? What are we even talking about? 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 Live streaming. This is what's going on right now. You can just whisper. Just whisper. This is making you feel really uncomfortable, isn't it? This is making you feel really uncomfortable. This is making you feel really uncomfortable. This is making you feel really uncomfortable. Yeah, I don't know. So many people out there, they have no idea what they're getting themselves into when they start going live. I've been doing this for like 6 years now. Okay, I'm like seasoned. And one day, you know, like I'm going to be start like really picking up on stuff in my life. And my online presence will start probably eventually start picking up some traction. So I'm going to do something that is going to push my life forward eventually. I just don't know exactly what it will be. But eventually things will start clicking and my life will start piecing together. But I got to get priorities. Is like I need to do whatever possible to move out of this trailer. I'm going to wait for the resources to give me the go-ahead, but I need to utilize those resources instead of placing restrictions because I think I don't know, I'm kind of mad at my case manager for assuming things when I told her that I'll do whatever I need to in order to get out of here, and then she feels like she's been holding back resources from me. But whatever. I've expressed to her that I need to get out of here and that I don't care anymore how. Like, I will do whatever is necessary to get out of this unhealthy situation. This place is destroying me. It's taking away my opportunities. It's taking away my joy. Like, I think it's turning me into a person that is just missing out on life. Just because I'm clinging on to something that I feel is relatively safe. But it's not safe. I'm not safe. I'm at risk of destroying everything that I've gained because I'm allowing myself to become complacent when I need to go push myself outside of my comfort zone. Yeah, my Discord is intentionally expired. I don't want to manage my Discord. It's too much of a liability for me. And it's also just too much effort. I'm really lazy. And I don't really think that I should be managing a Discord. I think it's a stupid thing to do. It's a waste of time. I don't need to be managing my Discord. Like, it's good enough that I can talk to people on my live streams. That's the system I built. I built a system where no matter what is going on in my life, I have a place to check in. And people can comment on it. That scales infinitely. Imagine if I was a CEO of a Fortune 500 company. I'd still be able to do this. I'd probably have a PR team screaming in my ear to end the live stream. But I would still be doing it because I built systems. That's what successful people do. I know this. I've researched this. Successful people don't rely on willpower to succeed. They build systems so that they can succeed even when they're not trying to. I have in my fiber of my being the core values and strengths of the kind of people who've moved mountains, the kind of people who change the entire market, the people who change the world. I have that inside of me, but it's just raw power and it's kind of going to waste. But until I move out of this situation, I'm going to be debuffed. And so I have to, one thing I want to change right now I really want to change how I respond to people, especially people who are trying to help me. I don't like how this living situation has turned me into somebody who is just surviving, and that it feels like I'm not even in control anymore when I'm talking to people. It feels like it's the situation that's talking, and it's destroying my life. I risked going back to school and meeting people, and I think I ruined my opportunity at making real connections because I was so just in last resort panic mode that I was so desperate to make new friends so that I could potentially gain some more support, that I think I ruined my chances at doing so. Because this situation came out of me in so many ways, in a very public manner, in very embarrassing ways. And I took risks, but I took risks that I think were very risky and could have been extremely dangerous. Trying to advance my career, meeting with somebody that I never met before and sleeping with them after just meeting him. And I'm just lucky. I had a good gut feeling that I shouldn't do any collab work with him on any of my platforms. Like, he was talking about doing collabs on OnlyFans, and I'm like, okay, well, let me suss him out first. He did not pass the Becca test. He did not pass the Becca test by a long shot. And I'm really glad that I trusted my gut instinct. I had sex with him. I probably shouldn't have done that either. I don't know. People have random sex all the time. That's not a big deal. But I did go to his house without even knowing who he was, and I don't know. People do that all the time too. I didn't really feel in danger. Felt like he should have been feeling in danger. I think I could have taken him. I'm kind of a badass bitch, like, to be honest. Like, I don't always show it, but like I'm like very when my survival instincts kick in, you do not want to be on the receiving end. I've been homeless before. Like I slept outside for a time. I mean, I don't want to talk about my past too much. It's a lot of the reason why I didn't pursue gender transition was because I was homeless. So I hope that like I can become successful enough that I can start some kind of like nonprofit that can make sure that people don't go through what I went through. You shouldn't have to go through all the things I went through. I got lucky. Things could have gone a lot worse for me, and they didn't. And yeah, some of that is because of choices I made, but I made some really bad choices too. Things could have gone a lot differently for me. Like a lot worse. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm glad you had at least some support. It's a miracle I was able to get all my surgeries. I was like really lucky to be in a situation where I was even able to go to the doctor's office. And I made sure that once I made the decision that I wouldn't back down, that I'm not going to like get scared. I was like it's now or never, and I didn't want it to be never. And so I did it. And I got my fucking surgery. And now I'm kind of like complacent, which is good because I should be. I should be. There's plenty of cisgender people who are losers. If I want to be a loser, I could be too. If I just wanted to do nothing with my life and leech off people, there's plenty of cisgender people who do that. I don't have to live up to this insanely high standard just because I had all the surgeries. Like, I earned the right to just exist just like everyone else. So now that that's our new baseline, now that that's our new baseline, I think I'm not a loser. I think I'm fully capable of achieving great things in this life. And I think I unlocked it by standing up for myself and getting the surgeries. But now that I'm here, I'm allowed to be complacent in a way that, like, if I don't want to, like, try very hard some days and just wear, like, my freaking sweatpants, I'm allowed to. Anything needed? I just want you to have a great evening. I want you to reflect on yourself and what your values are. Set a timer for like 5 minutes and just journal completely, even if you don't know what to write about. Just write about whatever comes to your mind for 5 minutes and like think about it afterwards. It doesn't have to be some life-changing thing. It doesn't have to be some, therapy thing. It could be just any random thing. Whatever it is, I want you to write it down and I want you to think about it. Because that's what I do for a living. For survival is I think a lot. I write things down and I think about them. I think about them a lot. I can't stop thinking about them. I think my autistic brain is unable to stop thinking about them. So I kind of learned from a young age to just, lean into it. Just accept that I'm not going to stop being this absolute, like, superpower of a brain that I'm going to constantly keep, like, cycling through ideas and, like, working on them and trying to figure out where it goes, see where it leads. Even if it destroys me, unfortunately. But I think it's really hard to get destroyed. I think mostly we don't have to worry about that. And the more you do it, the easier it gets. But you got to be careful because you don't want to share too much. Take it from me. I've shared a lot of things on the internet. And also in public. To strangers. That I didn't need to share. No. Things that I probably should never share. But I'm an open book. And that doesn't mean I have to always be disclosing information, but it does mean that in some form, I don't need to speak because I've already said it, just in different ways. Because I do not lie to myself. And a funny thing happens. A curious thing starts to happen when you no longer lie to yourself. You start telling the truth in ways that don't require you to tell the literal truth because you're living truth. It comes out in different ways, in good ways. When you stop lying to yourself, when you stop pretending to be someone you're not, it doesn't mean you have to, take a truth serum and tell the entire world your entire life story and all your worst demons. And you don't have to do that. You're not on trial. You don't have to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. So help you God, or whatever. This isn't a trial. And it took me a long time to understand that the easy way is to just talk about things that are not always appropriate to talk about. And when you do that, it's not helping anyone. It's serving your protective layer of guilt or shame. But it doesn't actually do anything to help you. What helps you is overcoming the difficulty, facing your demons, living a better now, like making good choices now. And isn't that like way better to the people you may have harmed than harming yourself for like a few minutes of self-acceptance? It's not real. Full disclosure to the world is not the same as healing. It's a false healing. And I've learned that I hope not too late. But I've publicly disgraced myself many times. And I think I'm getting quite good at it. And I don't know. Anyway, I just thought I would check in about things. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to create systems that make sure that no matter what, you're working on things that you want to work on. And that's what I'm doing. But I have to also be kind to myself. That I'm not going to be perfect every single day. And that I shouldn't be expected to finish my novel and to be like this absolute, like, perfect healthcare every single day when I am living in a situation that is causing me extreme stress. It really is. I can't quite explain why. Like, there's the obvious reasons. It's a trailer. It's a very small space, and I am cramped in here with my dad. And he's an alcoholic. And it's just, there are many ways that that affects me that I can't really even explain. It's driving me insane. And that's normal. It's not because of me, it's because of the environment. And I think I've done pretty well for myself considering. So just be kind to yourself, Rebecca. Nobody is expecting you to be this absolute perfect goddess, okay? You've got things going on for you that are going to really pay off eventually. But you have to be kind to yourself to let it happen in its own time, in its own way. And right now, you're not really capable of advocating for yourself in the way that you want to. And that's, it's not okay, but like, it just is how it is. And you're going to have to take things a little bit like, smaller steps. And then maybe it'll happen faster than you even realize. Once you start taking those small steps. You got this. I believe in you. Even if you don't right now. I believe in you. I really do.